Weather Channel and get the latest prediction on when the snow will start? I'm going to... Damn! I'd stepped in something squishy. I remembered that the 8 maids a milking had recently strolled by, leading their 8 purebred Holstein milk cows. Please tell me I didn't just step in cow dung. Okay, you didn't just step in cow dung, Rob said. I'm pretty sure the cleanup crew has been by at least once since the cows came through here. That's a relief, I said, though I was energetically scraping my foot on the gravel anyway. So that's almost certainly camel dung. As if that made a difference. I lost it briefly. Can't those stupid wise men keep their beastly camels out of the road? I snapped. Rob had turned to go, and either didn't hear me or pretended not to. It occurred to me that perhaps I shouldn't be so harsh on the wise men, since Michael Waterston, my husband of 6 months, was one of them. Don't blame the stupid wise men, came a voice from behind me. It was my fault. I turned around to see an enormous, bushy-bearded figure clad in a peculiar feathered garment. One of the 6 geese a-laying, I realized. I'd have recognized that immediately if he'd been wearing the goose head and had been waving wings instead of a pair of brawny arms, covered with thick hair and a colorful collection of biker and wildlife-themed tattoos. But never mind the incomplete costume, I was just glad to see its wearer. "Clarence," I said, "you made it." "Wouldn't miss it for the world," he said, giving me a bear hug. "So this is one of the 6 geese a-laying?" said a nasal voice with a hint of a southern drawl. I glanced over to see who was talking and saw a tall, cadaverously thin man in jeans and a faded brown parka. And he wasn't just tall compared to my 5'10". He even looked tall standing beside Clarence, who was 6.5 feet tall and almost as wide. Brown Parka was scribbling in a pocket notebook. Around his neck he wore a small silver digital camera and a lanyard with a laminated badge. "You must be the reporter from the Washington Star-Tribune," I said. "Are you?" He paused to look into his notebook. "Meg Lansdowne, the parade organizer?" "Meg Langslow," I corrected. "J. Ainsley Wurzel," he said. He stuck out a hand and I shook it, somewhat awkwardly since he was still holding the ballpoint pen in it. "So, one of your geese, I presume," he repeated. He stuck his pen behind his ear and grabbed his digital camera, apparently intent on getting a festive holiday shot of the ferrets inked up and down Clarence's arms. "And also one of our vets," I said. "This is Dr. Clarence Rutledge. He'll be helping look after the welfare of the many live animals appearing in today's parade." I winced inwardly at how stilted I sounded, like something out of a press release from the town council, but better stilted than dim-witted. Clarence shook the reporter's hand with a great deal less caution than I had. He was so used to enduring the teeth and claws of his more recalcitrant patients that a mere ballpoint pen wound meant nothing to him. Wurzel was the one who winced. "Damn," Wurzel said, as he continued to gape at Clarence. "I wish my photographer would get here already. You haven't seen him, have you? Short guy with a big Nikon?" I shook my head. "Damn," Wurzel repeated. "He said 10 minutes half an hour ago. Oh, well." He stood looking around with an odd expression on his face, as if tracking down the source of a bad smell. I checked my foot again. No, it was clean. And when I took a deep breath, the icy air held only the tantalizing odors of the coffee, cocoa, and spiced cider at a nearby refreshment stand. I could hear sleigh bells jingling in the distance and strains of Christmas carols drifting from various parts of the yard. A brace of cousins hurried by pushing a cart loaded high with poinsettias, and several small children dressed as elves were handing out candy canes, courtesy of the Carfilly Candy Shop. What could possibly be causing that sour face? "Quaint," Wurzel pronounced. "Quaint what?" Clearly that's going to have to be my angle on this story. Quaint. He nodded as he said it, and a satisfied expression replaced the frown. He couldn't have been here more